Well, hello again. Welcome back to my channel, Katie Rolls With It. How are you all doing today? I hope you are well. In today's video, we are going to be planning for the week of March the 24th through March March the 24th. Yes, through March the 30th. So the last week of March, last full week of March, in my A5 Daily Duo. And if you hear some of that wind, I have the back door open for my puppy girl. She's outside. It's kind of it's a blustery, like windy type day, but it's beautiful. The sun is shining and it's got a real like crisp temperature, but it feels warmer because of the sun. And so you might hear her running in, but you also might be hearing some of the wind in the background. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I already took these off of the rings. I actually cut slits in them so that they can pop on and off, just because especially when I plan and if I write on them, in them, that kind of thing, I like to take them out and be able to move them however I want and then pop them back in. And right now, so far, the little slits are working pretty well for me. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I've got my Sarasa Grand 0.7 pen that Mama Replans gifted to me, that I'm gonna use this week. And then if I happen to need a thinner tip, I have my 0.4 Energel Clena as well. But that's if I need something a little thinner. I just have that with me, as well as I wrote out all of the things that I need to make sure get in my planner. So I've got that to kind of look at and make sure I don't miss anything. And then we are going to be using this Planning with Jamie kit that Mama Replans gifted to me. It's kit number 339. I've got the timed labels, the checklist, and 7th label. I've got my headers, dates, washi, and then the other 6 boxes. And so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I also have a few other little things I might be pulling in. I might be pulling in one of these quotes. And then this was from a planner cake kit that I had left over. I thought maybe these yellows would match. Probably just the yellows, but I decided I would just kind of have those. If I can use them, great. If not, that's okay too, if I happen to need extra boxes. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with, and we're back. I needed my tweezers. I had moved to my big desk to work on some things and grabbed my tweezers, and I forgot to put them back over here in my little filming area. But now that I have them, I have some whiteout if I happen to need some. I've got some dot markers. I don't know that any of these colors would really work, but I do have some dot markers. Some scissors if I need that. I'm good. I should be good to go now. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and get started. I am really, really excited to plan with you today. We do still have our heat on. It's a beautiful day, but it's just a little chilly still. I'm gonna pull out some of my numbers and see if there's not anything that we can use. to be able to save these for a little bit later. Again, I love that kits come with numbers. I do. I think it's great. I love that they match fonts. But I just have so many that I'm like, what am I going to do with all these? So this is still intact, so I'm not going to worry about that one. But I am looking for, it looks like the 25th through the 30th. That one is still all intact as well. I'm trying to see 26. Okay. Seeing if I can kind of put some of them together. Not together, but if there's any that have, that seems to be the whole thing. All right. Well, it appears that no matter what I use, I'm going to have to break open a new one. So let's go ahead and use Jamie's numbers. I just like to look just because I'm trying to be a good steward of my resources, but also, I don't know about you, but I'm never going to go through all the numbers. And I've been kind of battling a little bit with that in my mind, you know, going, Katie, just toss them. Like, it's not that big of a deal. If you use the majority of a kit, you know, and you maybe have a few numbers left over, what's the big deal? But there's just a part of my heart that's like, no, they're useful. I want to keep them, you know, so that is your Saturday morning stroll through the mind of Katie Roll and some of the things that she deals with on probably a more often than one should think through that. I have a really good friend of mine who I love so much. She's just so near and dear to me, and she says, you need help throwing things away? I'm your girl. Like, I'll come over and throw all your stuff away. And I'm like, do you know how much anxiety that would cause me? And she's like, yeah, but we'll do it together. It'll be fun. You know, and I'm like, you and I do not think that things are fun. Like, the same things are fun. Not that specifically, you know, but it's just, I don't know what it is. I think that my mom kind of had a little bit of a hoarding tendency, and I probably get it honest. You know, luckily it's not overtaking my life or anything, and it never overtook hers either, but it just, sometimes it doesn't make sense what my mind does, you know, or my anxiety does when I have to throw food away, or I have to throw things away, and you know, at the end of the day, I don't like to feel wasteful or to be wasteful, and I don't know, there's just a sense of shame in that for me, guilt maybe, I'm not sure, but I do know that the Lord's working on me about it, but I thought maybe I would share with you why I pull out my numbers every single week when you're like, you have numbers right there that match the kit, they're the same font, blah blah blah, you know. It's because my mind does things to my spirit that just don't settle really well with me. And so it kind of, yeah. Welcome to therapy session with Katie. Oh man, these are so pretty. So pretty. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go ahead and put down the headers, the checklists, the boxes, and kind of get the framework done, and then I'll come back and we will not sure why this is here, but we will get started talking about the plans. So I'll be right back. Well, welcome back. I have the framework all done. I did try to use the checklists, but I believe that they might not have gotten resized. Planning with Jamie uses a 7x9 daily duo, and so I know that she has both 7x9 and A5 size, but and the box got resized, but I think that these might be still sized for the 7x9, which is totally fine. Like, not a big deal at all. In fact, I keep these usually, and I might have, I might use them in the boxes as well. So, not a big deal, but I wanted you to know why I didn't use those. And I did use all of the to-do stickers. So, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I have an appointment on Monday morning, and I think that I'm gonna go ahead and use, I think I might use this color because it's definitely in the pattern of the header. I have to be at the imaging center at like 7:45. So I'm going to go ahead and put, I'm going to kind of put it over the 8 o'clock hour. Like not over it, but over the line that starts the 8 o'clock hour. And I'm going to use Jamie's appointment sticker. So I don't have one that says ultrasound, but I think I'm going to just write it on to the washi. It's probably not super visible to you, but I can see it. And then I'm going to go ahead and trying to decide what I want to use to kind of frame out my workday. I think I'm going to use, so Jamie gives you a few of these dotted dashed like stickers, but I have quite a few in my reusable sticker book. So I think I'm going to use these so that I can maybe, she only has 3. And so if I'm going to frame the top and the bottom, I'm going to need more than 3. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these. And I think that I honestly might just move them over here so then they can be easily grabbable. Okay, so I am working 6 days this week. It is my Saturday to work at my 9-to-5 job. I'm on a team of management that alternate Saturdays. And so generally about once a month, occasionally, you know, like March has 5 Saturdays, I believe. So occasionally I have a couple that I have to work, but normally it's about once a month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I lost my count by trying to talk. Isn't that funny? And then 12. There we go. That will give me what I need from this. So that I can kind of frame my workday. Since I have my appointment at 8, it should take about 25 to 30 minutes, they said, not too much longer. But that will kind of push me back just a little bit for work. So I'm going to kind of put this on the 9 o'clock hour. Because I more than likely will be closer to 9 o'clock by the time I get to work. because of my appointment. And then I have my planner. I have Bible study at 6, so I'm gonna have to leave work no matter what by 5:30. It's my hard stop. I have a couple days a week I have a hard stop. Like I said, I'm in management, so unfortunately I can't have a hard stop every single day, but you know, that's just the nature of being responsible for a team of people and a financial institution, and yeah, so wow. Oh, that's better. Okay. And then I am going to use Jamie's work stickers. I really do like Jamie's kits because I feel like they are pretty complete in the sense of the words that you get, and you know, it's like she's kind of thought through pretty much everything, you know, that you might need. So it can all be the same font, that kind of thing. So I really do. I'm digging the sticker kit. So thank you, Planning with Jamie, for creating it, and thank you, Mama Marie Plans, for gifting it to me. I feel very blessed. Okay, I have, let me use this here. Let's see. I mean, it's not a I think I'm going to use this yellow one. Excuse me, I have a Bible study. That it goes usually about 6 to 7:30, 7:45. Sometimes we go to 8. It just kind of depends on how the discussion's going. But I definitely want to notate that. Okay, those are the things that I have as far as appointments specifically. I am going to put this yellow box down. This came from this past week. For those of you who've been kind of walking this road with me for a little while, we just went through a computer core system conversion, which was a lot of work, and my team has done a fantastic job. Fantastic. I did some board reports. I have to do them every month, but kind of comparing from last month to this month, and we had such a surge of transactions, walk-in traffic, things like that, which is expected during a core conversion, you know, because something's changed and people are, you know, what's happening, what's going on, blah, 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 that kind of thing. So it's, we expected it, but I am so proud of my staff for how they've handled everything. But along with that, everything has felt, I was just talking with one of the other managers, my CFO, that I'm feeling like I'm living very reactionary, because my door is kind of a revolving door right now, questions, things like that. And again, they're great things. I mean, I am so proud of my staff. They do such a great job, and I'm glad that they feel comfortable to come ask questions. You know, I'd much rather them ask and feel confident in what they're doing, as opposed to just try something out and have to, you know, correct mistakes and all that stuff. So I'm so thankful that my staff comes to me. But I feel like since the end of January, clear until now, minus my vacation time, I feel like I've lived a very reactionary life when it comes to my 9 to 5 job, you know, because my door, I always have somebody at my door. I'm always answering questions, all this stuff. And so the things that are normal to my life and livelihood of my job, like the things that are, you know, normally things I have to take care of, have kind of gotten pushed to the side a little bit, and rightfully so. Like, nobody, I'm not letting anything, praise the Lord, slip through the cracks that, you know, is life or death. But I want to live less reactionary. I want to get back to good rhythms. And so one of the rhythms that I really appreciate is when first thing on Monday morning, I get to work and I can have 15 minutes where I shut my door, nobody interrupts me, and I'm able to like really plan out my day or my week, you know, like have a game plan. A lot of times my game plan gets thrown out the window because of what we're dealing with and still being new and all that stuff. But it makes me feel less reactionary and more proactive if I at least start with a game plan, so that, you know, I can pivot really quickly back to what I'm working on. You know, I feel like as I've gotten older, my brain has a little bit more ADHD than it did when I was younger. I used to be able to multitask and do tons of things, but now I feel like if I have to pivot, sometimes it takes a long time to get back to like, okay, what was I thinking about? What was I doing? What was, you know, like, where was I at in this project? And so having that 15 minutes really gives me an opportunity to kind of come up with a game plan. And if I get sidetracked, I can look at that game plan and be like, oh, that's what I was working on. That's what I need to get back to, you know, sort of a thing. And so it makes me feel like I have more time, or less time wasted, basically, for lack of a better term. But so all that to say is I want to get back, starting this Monday, I want to get back to some of my rhythms that I put in place that are helpful to me, even if it doesn't completely feel like how it used to feel and I'm still living in this treading water situation. I definitely know that I need to have rhythms in place that help me, because as somebody that oversees a staff, like the oxygen mask thing, if I don't put the oxygen mask on myself, I'm not going to be able to put the oxygen mask on my staff. And so that is why a lot of times you see me put a 15-minute reset right at the top of my day. And I call it that because it's like 15 minutes where I'm not accessible to anybody. I literally pen and paper, brain dump, all the things, you know. And I've even tried, doing it at home on Sunday nights in the kind of preparation for Monday. And that has helped a little, but I want to get back to where it's part of my day at work, because now it's taking time away from my husband and the things that I have to do at home. And while that's okay for a season, I don't want that season to last forever. So I've got to get back into rhythms. You really did come to Therapy with Katie today. So if you're still here, thank you. And I appreciate you helping. I'm a verbal processor, so this helps me very much to get it out of my brain and on paper. Okay, all right, let's go to my, I don't know why I wasn't looking for the things that I know I need for my day-to-day type stuff while I was chatting. But let's see, do I have some good colors for this? I do have this gray, which might work for the gray header. And I could use this pink, it seems like, for that. So we'll do that for PM Meds. And then I have one that just says Meds. I really wish I had AM we'll go ahead and just use that and write it in. So I'm going to hold on to these because those we'll use. I don't have any kind of hair appointment or nail appointment this week. I would like to weigh in. So let's see. Monday is usually the day that I will weigh in. I think I've used quite a bit of yellow on this page so far. So I think I'm gonna grab this kind of like corally pink color, and I'm going to set this up here because I generally do it right before I get into the shower. I'll weigh in that morning, so we're good there. I think I'm gonna take my cute little girl at her computer for Monday, just because it's cute. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick the word Bible study right here. This is so cute. And then I'm gonna put a little icon of a book. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I want to move this just a little bit closer to the middle, more of like a centered, oops, except for now it's crooked. The only thing about putting your stickers in a reusable sticker book is that once they've been taken off of their sheet, sometimes they still stick, but you've got to kind of get them to really stick. Okay, we're gonna put laundry day. So I do laundry, or my husband actually does laundry every single day. I'm so thankful for that. But I like to put that as some of our to-do list things. And then I'm going to put her, let's see, I'm trying to think what might look the cutest. Maybe if her little post-it notes are up in the, oh my gosh, that's so stinking cute. So cute. So cute. Okay, And then what I think that I might do, let me see what kind of spacing this might be for this. If it really could possibly, it's not going to be perfect. Really starts to get a little wonky right there. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna do it, but I'm going to tear it right there. And we're gonna use it like this. And one of the things that I do need to do for work is schedule interviews. I might find the word schedule here in a second. And kind of make a list of some of the things I want to make sure get on my work planner. So I'm curious, now that you guys have sat through my whole conversation about rhythms, are there things that you do or rhythms that you have in your life that really help you succeed? And what do you do when you get out of rhythm a little bit? I find as I'm getting older, it's really harder to rebound, if that makes sense. All right, so let's do, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna write AM. Use meds. And then as far as colors go, I think I'm going to use this pinky color for PM meds. Like that. And then I'm thinking time-wise, Monday is probably not the day I will have time to take a walk. Unless I do close Bible study early. Because the beautiful thing about daylight savings time is it's starting to get back to where it's staying lighter later. So that's awesome. Okay, let me make sure that I have everything that I need for Monday. It looks like I do. All the things that I can think of at least. We will be going into work early on Tuesday. Since I can't do it on Monday, I would like to do it on Tuesday. And I would honestly love to be able to get to work by 7. And probably stay till 7 because I have a board meeting. I'm gonna go ahead and put the board meeting down. Let's go ahead and use this pretty blue color. I'm going to actually, you know what? Our board meetings usually only last about an hour, maybe an hour and 15, but I generally stay after to get some things done. So I'm going to put that there and then, anyway. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put laundry day down. There, I'm putting it at the bottom because it actually takes up more than one of the lines. Not because I don't, Bradley does it during the day, so it's not like he waits until the evening to do it. It takes up more than one line, so. Alrighty, so we got a work sticker here. I think I'm gonna still, yeah, I think so. Just kind of put it toward the end there. Along with rhythms, I'm also trying to get back into the rhythm of having at least one video a week. I also realized that this is the end of the month, or getting close to the end of the month, so I probably need to do my April plan with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get a video out on Tuesday this week, and then maybe on Saturday. I'm also going to attempt to to take a walk in the evening when I get home. And if it's nice out, we'll take the pup girl. If it's not nice out, we might have to pivot and do like a yoga or something like that. So, all right. Is that okay? So do I have, okay, I think I'm going to see, now that I've cut this down, if I can flip it over and see if I can get it. They're just not spaced the same. Okay. We can use the top, the tippy top. Maybe. I don't know why I get all whispery when I'm putting stickers down, but you're welcome. I don't know why I do it, but you're welcome. Yeah, so we'll put a little to-do list for work there. And then I am going to put on here something that my husband has on the schedule. My father-in-law is going on a hunting trip with his son-in-law and grandson-in-law, and my husband is going to make sure that my father-in-law gets to their house so that they can fly out. I may pivot and take a little time in the middle of the day and go with him. They would just swing by and pick me up from work, and then I would go with them. It just kind of depends on what makes the most sense. Yeah, so let's see. I need to find something that says board meeting. I know that I had a sticker in here. It says board meeting. Let's see, this one might be long. So let's see. Oh no, I think it's going to work out perfectly. And maybe even we'll kind of do it like that. Sorry. All right. Okay, let's move on to Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday, I think I'm going to also attempt to go to work early. We're going to shoot for 7. But that's going to be dependent on if we get to bed at a decent time, because I have a hard stop at 5:30 because I have worship team practice at 6, and we're going to use this pretty peachy color. Oh, hold tight. What did I do with it? Yep, I didn't get it out because I'm like, oh, I need to get back into that book. There is a peach one practice. That's what I wanted. Okay, now back to regularly scheduled programming. Like so, there. And I'm gonna put the worship set. I like to put it in here. And since I don't have any thing I'm trying to match this up with, I will put that in there. I'm going to pick out music, and then I'm going to put this at the bottom, which just says prepare bass music, which really means I just need to prepare all the music. My husband started playing bass with us about 3 years ago, and I had Planner Kate make me a sticker that said prepare bass music, because I was, for those of you who are involved in worship, I play chords on the piano, and so when I read a chord sheet, you know, I just happen to know verse, chorus, bridge times 85, chorus. I just happen to know how the song goes. I'm also the leader, and so I get to pick how the song goes. But my husband, who is new to music and new to his instrument, he really needed a little bit of just some helps, in the sense that if I wrote it out, intro, verse, chorus, chorus, and like made it continuous, he didn't have to bounce back and forth. But now, all these years later, he is reading chord sheets just like I do, and I'm so proud of him. He's doing such a fantastic job. He is just such a light to my life and all the things, and I just love that he does that with me. And but so I still have the prepare bass music stickers, because I ordered a whole sheet, and so I'm going to put that at the bottom, just basically that I got to print out the music if I need to, that kind of thing. So that will be what it'll be to me. And then we usually have 2 sets of 2, and then we always end the service with the doxology. So this gives me 5. I can literally just put them right there. Other than pick out music and prepare bass music, I don't really have to check off the others, but I might as well use what I have, right? So I am going to do that. And I'm going to use I think I'm gonna use this gray for PM meds. And again, M. Meds. I really like the thickness of this Sarasa Grand, because this meds is really dark, and so it looks like, I mean, it's not exactly the same font because I'm writing it and that's a font, but your eye doesn't immediately go there like, oh, those two don't go together, sort of a thing. All right, so let's see. So we've got our worship music here. I think that's all I have specific for Wednesday. Now, I do plan to schedule interviews on Monday, so I may have some interviews and things that pop up, but since I don't have them scheduled yet, I don't need to, or I mean, I need to kind of leave things pretty open as far as that goes. So I'm done with Wednesday. Thursday, we've got payday, which is exciting. I love a good payday. I love payday. I love being able to pay my bills. I'm thankful that I'm able to pay my bills, for sure. I think I'm going to use the pink, the light pink color. Just notate that it's payday. Nice. Okay. And then the other thing that I use this box for on Thursday almost all the time is to write out what bills I'm paying with this paycheck. So it works out really well for me. Let's see how many. I don't know that I have this many to pay, but again, let's use it because I can. I am gonna lift this pay bills up just a little bit so that when I use that top line, I've got enough room to write. Perfect, okay. Again, we're going to attempt to get to work early. plan to get to work early, I guess is a better word for it. And then I have a girls, well, basically some time scheduled with my girlfriend Kay. So I do have a hard stop for Thursday, and I am gonna I'm gonna go ahead and use this big one, just because I don't know that we'll meet this whole time, but I want to leave it open because I love spending time with her. So I'm going to do that. And I will, oh, you know what I did forget on Wednesday is my laundry day sticker. So it wasn't exactly done. Let's see. Where might I have put those? Those are my work ones. Oh, here we go. I feel like, well, maybe not. Maybe I had my laundry sticker in here. Trash day. Food. Laundry. I do. It's here. I think I'm going to use some of these Right Place plans. Or some of these days. And since I am using one that does fit on the line, I'm going to bring it back up to the line for Wednesday. And, okay, we'll go ahead and get our AM and PM medication. Oh, how about on Saturday? This is the thing that when you take, here we go. When you take things out of the planner, then you have to just make sure you're on the right day. Please tell me you laughed with me about that, because I'm like, oh God, I lost where I am. And laundry. Laundry. Okay. I think I might stick a walk sticker in. On Tuesday. Yeah, okay. I might stick a walk sticker. And I'm just gonna stick this down here at the bottom. And Kay and I may very well take a walk as part of our girls' night. In fact, I can probably bet as long as the weather is nice, we will. So let's see what we want to use. Let's go ahead with the gray, I think. Yeah, I think that will probably be something that we will do together. All right, now I need to find like a girls' day, girls something. Oh, I only have 2 more of those. I need to order them. right, let's see if I can find a girls date. Look at that. I didn't even have this planned at the time that I made those. Look at that. God knew. He knew I needed some time with my friend. Okay. How fun, how fun. And I'm gonna put with K. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. All right. Then on Friday, Friday, we're going to do meds. This is kind of a brighter pink than what's in there, but that's okay. We're gonna go with it. And laundry. Generally on Friday, I like to take a little bit of time to kind of list out some of the things that I need to do at work. That I need to remember is on my radar, sort of a thing. So we're gonna again use what we have. Oh. And we're gonna throw this in here like so. Wonderful. So Friday, we're going to, again, that's my goal, get to work early. And Friday is always a day that I work until about 7 because the bank is, or the credit union is open later. And I just realized as I'm looking at what I still have on my list that I forgot to put my work sticker on Thursday. So we're gonna do that. Okay, so we have got, I'm gonna use another one of these little bullets because Friday is trash day. Oops. Going to list that, so I'm going to flip this back over and I'm going to write in gather trash. Put out toters. And then here, we're going to collect toters. Okay. All right. I don't have anything else on Friday as it stands right now. I am going to use this one if I can, this piece here, to just kind of give me a little bit of a checklist for things to do for work that I need to make sure to get done before the end of this week, and then also write out my list for next week. Okay. All right, so that is Friday. We're almost done, guys. All right, so Saturday I work, and I work from home, so I can literally put these on the hours that I work from home, because at the end of the day, I literally can crawl out of bed if I want to, and just work. Sorry, that's cute. All right, so I'm looking for, I can use this because it's the same one. Work from home, which I know is in here. Although I also know it's right here, so maybe we'll use this one. Because I have it. All right, and we'll go ahead and use one of these stickers. We'll use this pink one. And I'll kind of just put it in the center here. Oops. To kind of signify, oops, that it is this whole time. Awesome. Awesome sauce. What else do I have? I don't know that I have anything else specifically for Saturday, but I do think that I would like to go on an afternoon walk, as long as the weather is okay. Let's see. I feel like this blue, it's not exactly perfect, but I feel like it'll work. Yeah, there we go. All right, so then we've got, what meds do we use? Okay, the pinky color. Okay. That. And again, like this. This was when I had in the reusable sticker book of that. think I would also like to attempt to upload a video. So I'm gonna kind of put that here at the beginning of the day. With one of these little guys. There we go. There. And then I am gonna pull just gonna stick this right here. It's clear and so it's kind of cute. Just right over that bullet point. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, I am going to put this Aaron's here and put a little bit of one of these in here. I don't generally, I mean, I don't necessarily go on a lot of errands, but if there are things that I need to do, I like to have one spot that I keep them in, and then that way, I'll just go to here. That way, when I go to run errands or I go to make a plan to go do something or go somewhere, I have them all listed here, like, okay, I need to do this and this and this, and I can kind of go from there. But so that's what I like to do with my box on Saturday. Sometimes I'll also put in there, like if I'm doing a spring cleaning or like a big clean on the house, I might list all the things there. All right, guys, we're getting toward the end. All right, Sunday was a pretty big day for us. As far as days go, because I'm gonna use this bright yellow. It's way bright, but I want to use one of those yellow stickers, and so I feel like it'll kind of bring in that yellow a little bit. So Sunday we generally don't focus on laundry, not only because we aren't here most of the day, but it does give my husband a day to kind of relax and not have that to worry about. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this yellow here. Oops, oops, whoops, 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 whoops. Actually, you know what? Since I used a practice sticker for Wednesday, I'm gonna see if I have another one that will color-wise work. And then I can use that. Oh, here we go. I can use, well, do I want yellow on top of yellow? Probably not. Hold on. I've got them somewhere. Let's see where I might. I don't think that they are close by, so I am going to hold off with the practice sticker. I'm gonna have to grab that, but I am gonna put this at the 9 o'clock put it here, at the 9 o'clock hour. Because it's a very short meeting. It doesn't take very long, but we like to meet and just make sure that we have kind of a run through of what's happening on stage. It's helpful to my team if there's any solos or any like camera angles that we have to get, things like that. So we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna grab a practice sticker I don't have at the moment, but I will get that on there, probably off camera. Sorry guys. We'll go ahead and use this yellow here. Church, I'm gonna go ahead and put it like here. 10:30 to usually noon, and I'm gonna put my cute little piano girl here. I'll go ahead and stick her down there. And then we'll grab this church sticker here. I love that this looks like somebody wrote it, like a font did. I love when fonts look like you wrote them and not that they were typed. Okay, but then we also have, we're gonna have to use the pink one. We also have a service in the afternoon at our local mission, where my husband and I go and lead worship for the boys there. And I believe that I have a mission sticker, but just not with me, so I'm gonna put that in off camera. Generally I think on Saturday I'm gonna do a grocery pickup. Probably in the evening at some point, so I'm just going to kind of put this in the center here. Oh, that was not the center, Katie. Put this in the center, more in the center, just as a reminder to that I want to do that at some point today. What else do we have? Okay, I think I'm gonna use one of these beautiful stickers. I think I'm gonna use His Grace is Enough. Right, like, okay. Well, folks, I think that I've finally gotten down to the end of what I know of my week so far, at least. Let me grab my other days and we'll go through them together. Let me get all this stuff moved away. All right. Okay. So we have Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for letting me verbally process I appreciate you all. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.